So yon, ladies and gentlemen, we are now starting our live on YouTube. So for the meantime, let's just prepare ourselves as we face the audience live. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching us live on YouTube and on Facebook, this is your host for this morning. I'm John B. Iturali Jr., a faculty member of the Senior High School Department. And with me here is, of course, Ma'am Jetta Ruto, the advisor of the FCUSR Junior High School. We are here for this much awaited debate and open forum between two parties, the SVP and the SRP, who will be presenting themselves and at the same time presenting their platforms to our audience for this debate and online open forum. So to start this wonderful event, we'll be proceeding with the presentation of the candidates. We'll start with the presentation from the SVP to be followed by the presentation from the SRP. So first things first, we'll have Mr. Aaron Aperocho representing the SVP running for the governor. Hello, Mr. Aaron. Are we here?
Um, Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Good noon. I am Erna Perocho, the aspiring governor of Students' Voice Party. Sir, wait lang, my question, cause sir.
Yes, Aaron.
So this part, do we need to introduce our platforms or anything? Oh, sorry sa background noise.
You just have to present yourselves here for the presentation of candidates. Earlier, you presented your platforms, right? But you can also share a bit of your platform if you want.
Oh,
So it's okay.
I'm really sorry. Medyo na-shock na ako kayo wala ko na-inform sino sa program and I thought nga ang teachers ang ma-introduce pala sa akin. So medyo na-take it.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Just introduce your name. Okay, next
So,
we'll have, thank you Aaron for that. Next we'll have Mr. Valles. Just introduce your name.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Sophia Margaret B. Cervales, running for your Vice Governor. Please watch and witness our debate and open forum for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Valles. Now let's have the governor from the SRP, Mr. Padolia.
Hello everyone, I am James Cesar Padolia, your aspiring governor under the banner of Students Reform Party.
Thank you, Mr. Padolia. And of course, the Vice Governor from the SRP, Ms. Dumol.
Good morning, Philomarians. I am Crystal Marie Dumo, running for Vice Governor under the Students Reform Party. No more, no less, but true service.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You just witnessed the governors and the vice governors from the SVP and the SRP. At this point, we'll be having the presentation of our candidates. So we'll have Ma'am Ruto to present our candidates. Where? Sharing your screen. Sino share screen? So here are our candidates for the Junior High School Student Council local elections on June 2, 2021. First, we'll have the Students' Voice Party. Governor Aperocho Aaron and Vice Governor Cervales Sophia. Secretary, we have David Johanna and Treasurer Bulaklak Elisha. Auditor, Rojas Joshua Ronier MJ and PIO Kabundukan Steven. Peace Officer, we have Pikirda Shanley Joy. Representative, we have Agihap Andrea and Belyoga Amiga. Barrios Teariz and Dueño Angeli. Esigera Nerine and Teves Shonas C. Board members, we have Adriguez Balia and Bibita Hart. We also have Datiles Hyacinth and Sumayo Flores. Councilors, we have Robles, Rindil, and Folie. Wait, before that slide. Folie J. Next, we have the Mayor, Abulencia, Lexley, and Egalam LJ for the Vice Mayor. We also have the councilor for grade 10. We have Yang Sophia May. And for grade 9 mayor, we have Sorilio Micaela and Vice Mayor Delphine Crisia. Councilors, we have Hanabon Kale and La Chica Jonah Faye. We also have Sinadhan Rich for the councilor of grade 9. And for grade 8, we have Mayor Refugio Jaime and Bibita Timothy James. We also have Arroyo Ashley for the councilor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you the SRP candidates for this year's local election. Governor G. Padolia and Vice Governor Cristel Marie Dumol. We also have Secretary Katrina Jane Delay and Treasurer Mary Chanel Lecaros. Auditor Rani Ket Bandejas and PIO Benedict Odicta. Peace Officer, we have Kefol Pinoy. Representative Maria Antoinette Almorfe, and Owen Joshua Dolete. We also have Megan Isidario and Hannah Calhila for representatives. And Jeneline La Chica. Board members, we have Jana Otto and Jessica Banyas. We also have Precious Freya Bernabe and Carl Charisse Brillo board members. Ivy Banyas and Joyny Halandoni. And a board member, Oswezo Rojo. Now for the grade 10 mayor, we have Juliana L'Oreal Trabaria, Vice Mayor Mika Sereneo. Councilors, we have Joshua Roland and Johanna Balasa. Dan Denver Ramos for grade 10 councilor. Grade 9 mayor, we have Maricon Pauline Tomlos and Vice Mayor Blessed Shine Brillo. We also have Candace Arlante, councilors, and Jovan Fuentes Jr. Also, we have Rowan Yakla for the grade 9 councilor. Grade 8 mayor, we have Ona Josiah Dolete and Julia Mir Gafate, vice mayor. Councilors, we have Shania Hart Alcis and Prince Hare Pahila. We also have Netchelin Gassis for grade 8 councilor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be reading to you the rules and guidelines for today's debate and online open forum. For the rules and guidelines, I'll be reading it. Number 1, an online randomizer will be used to determine the sequence of parties to answer the debate question. Well, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, earlier, before we start our live on YouTube, we had already our online randomizer to select who will be the first speaker for the governor's match and also for the vice governor. The result of our online randomizer showed that the governor from the SVP, Mr. Aperocho, will be our first speaker, and our second speaker will be Mr. Padolia from the SRP. For the vice governor's match, we have Ms. Sir Dumol from the SRP to be our first speaker, and second speaker will be Ms. Cervales from the SVP. Second, rules and guidelines. Questions or issues are pre-given to our candidates in order for them to prepare their answer. It will be composed of various topics such as social issues, institutional issues, the Constitution, and the likes. Debate participants will only include the governor and vice governor from both parties. Other members can help in constructing their ideas for the answers. During the debate, this format shall be observed. First speaker to deliver his answer to an issue in not more than 2 minutes. Then it shall be followed by questions from the second speaker with not more than 3 minutes. Second speaker will then deliver his answer to an issue in not more than 2 minutes. Questions from the first speaker shall then follow in not more than 3 minutes. There will be a closing speech from the first speaker and the second speaker respectively after answering the 3 questions or issues. They will be given 2 minutes each to deliver. A bell or raised hand will signal every end of the time. During the open forum, the audience or participants are free to ask a question to any candidates. Each candidate is given 2 minutes to answer every question. The open forum shall not exceed 45 minutes. Use of obscene and foul words is highly prohibited. Slandering other candidates or the opposing party must be avoided. In case of personal attacks or abusive statements, the moderator will have the right to cut the speaker out. The candidates have the freedom to speak in English, Tagalog, or Hiligaynon. Ladies and gentlemen, I just read you the rules and guidelines for the debate and open forum. And so this time, we'll be proceeding to our next part of the program. We'll have the debate proper. Starting with the governor from the SVP, Mr. Aaron Aperocho.
First question. Next.
Let me read to you question number 1. What specific program or project shall you implement in your term that in the previous administration was not implemented? This program or project should cater to the various aspects of leadership, education, and community participation. Mr. Aaron Aperocho, are you ready to answer the question? Ready? You have 2 minutes. Yeah, and your 2 minutes will start the moment you speak or you utter your first word.
Okay, so thank you for that first question. My answer would that be, it would be the transparency project. This will give the students and even their parents a total breakdown on how FCUSR actually works. It will cater the various aspects of leadership, education, and community participation. How? First is leadership. The meetings of FCUSR JHS will be uploaded online, giving the students the chance to see if their chosen FCUSR officials are doing their jobs right. Second is education. Students or anyone who wants to know how the organization works will now have the chance to see the actions unfold in front of themselves. This can also serve as a mini training session. Third, community participation. Everyone that is under the junior high school ecosystem will now have a better understanding on how the things that FCUSR is doing. This may boost the participation of the students for the next move or projects FCUSR will do, because they now have the proper knowledge on why or how an event is made. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aperocho, for that. Now let's proceed with the questions coming from the governor of the SRP, Mr. G. Padolia. G, are you here with us?
Yes, sir.
You may start your questions.
Aaron,
Yes.
are you sure that those program you've mentioned was not implemented by the previous admins?
Can you specify what programs?
The transparency project.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So, di bala, ning isa kayan sa local officials ng junior high school.
Mm-mm.
So, ngaman wala mo naging speak out sa governor, kag bala mo man gali nga, it will help the student to become better, and it will help the community and the school.
So this idea actually came to me just a month before, and wala ko gid siya na internalize gid. Wala ko gid sa wala na internalize nga pwede ko siya ma-voice out, kay it's more like I'm focusing currently sa current administration and sa goals niya ng Yoka. And that's why I came up with a solution. Then i-introduce ko ni Dane, what if i-introduce ko naman ni sa akon nga platform subong, kaya nga daan I can somehow develop this idea.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So ang election malang nag-start malang grand rally is atong election nag-start malang a week before, right?
Pwede mo maliwat.
Di ba ang aton election nag-file kita sa COC a week before pa lang. So ang hambal mo yanda ning nag-come up ning idea mo in just a month or sang last month. So nga man wala mo gin speak out last month kay bago pa lang to nag-file COC.
Kay it's more like wala ko sa baladan again focusan kay it just came to me, and wala. And I was trying to focus sa current nga goals and projects ni nang Yoka pa. And then, subong, I was somehow given the chance to try and voice out this concern na subong. And I think this is the most suitable nga day to introduce this transparency project.
Okay. So paano mo nahambal nga mo na ang suitable day para sa mo project? Hindi last month. Hindi sa previous admin or sa year.
Okay, so the first time, so di ba nag-convert kita sa online? So na-taken aback mostly kita. And it took us some time to somehow settle down. And obviously we're somehow bombarded with all this different ideas and how we can improve certain events. And though wala pa inisya gyapon na natagaan ako sa kaya I was trying somehow deliver different events and to somehow give the students an actual participation. That is why this idea was presented subong.
Thank you, G and Aaron, for that. Wow, that's only our first round for the governors, and it seems it's triggering and it's stimulating the interests of our audience and participants. So, ladies and gentlemen, this time we'll hear the answer of the governor from the SRP, Mr. G. Padolia. G, are you ready?
Yes,
You
sir.
have 2 minutes.
Okay, this program or project should cater to the various aspects of leadership, education, and community participation. Since we are facing the new normal, the specific project or program I should implement in my term, and if I will given a chance to win on this position, are online mental health symposium, academic assistance program, and e-suggestion forms. These programs and projects are beneficial to my fellow students junior high school in terms of leadership, education, and community participation. We all know that we are coping up in these trying times. As a student leader, I will do the things that can be thoughtful and essential to the Philamerian students. Thank you.
Thank you, G, for that answer. Now we'll have the questions from the governor of the SBP. Aaron?
I'm really sorry. I'm having trouble with my internet connection. Medyo wala ko naintindihan si G. Kaya he somehow got cut off.
Okay, G, can you just share again what's your main points, or your main points rather?
Okay, the specific program we are implementing is the online mental health symposium, the academic assistance program, and e-suggestion forms. We would that's the program we would like to implement.
Pwede mo somehow give me some more context about the e-suggestion. Ang second nga ano bala idea?
Ang academic assistance program.
Oo.
We will create a page we will create a page nga mamangkot there ang students if or ano ilang academic concerns, and their co-students will answer that concerns ang mga kabalo.
So, iliwat ka, balik co-students nila ang ma-answer man sa questions, no? Okay. So, currently, a lot of students are also nang gareklamo man sila bala nga damo man sila ulubrahon, and if tagaan pagid sila sang another task nga for example me as a student, may mamangkot pagid sa akon, and I'm also suffering from answering all my modules. So, ano sina ang matabo sina sa estudyante nga mabulig sang sabat balasiya. Okay.
So ang imo gina-point out is ang student may iba nga task nga hindi sila dito makasabat sa question nga to. So hindi man siya sang masabat gid ang student, hindi man siya gid nga kinahanglan gid nila magsabat. It is voluntarily kung sino ang kabalo magsabat. So you can help the other student man.
So what if wala gid sang may makasabat? So is it a fail nga way to somehow help our co-students kay wala makasabat sang question? Kay voluntary lang sa mo?
Okay, I think kung wala may makasabat sa question, I think hindi man siya fail because the student try his or her best para maka-question sa dito nga page kag para makapangita siya answer.
So to summarize, it is a 50-50 nga response, nga success rate ang answers. Tama
Yeah.
na? Okay, thank you. And your next one is ang e-suggestion.
Suggestion form.
Can you give me some more context?
Okay. E-suggestion form is ning maobra kami sang Google form which is in every end of the quarter nga dira ma-suggest ang students kang mga concerns nila about sang school kung kagong ano pang pwede i-develop.
Will this be also available offline?
Po.
Like to cater the students bala nga modules lang kay there are also Philomarian students nga modules lang sila. So how can they voice out man sa inyo?
Ning they can voice out through ning ma-message sila sa Messenger ning kag pwede man nila ning mapagwa nga anonymously.
If there is no any data or internet way to somehow voice out their concerns, are there
Thank
any
you
more
so much,
alternatives?
Aaron. Sorry to cut you, but it's time already. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you witnessed the first question from the governors of SVP and SRP. And so now let's proceed with our second question, or question number 2. Okay? Kaya pa G and Aaron, ginhawa lang kita danay.
Yes, sir.
Question number 2. Here it goes. Many students clamor that this academic year 2020 to 2021 has affected the quality of learning through online classes and modules. As a leader, what recommendations shall you present to our school administration to address the majority of the concerns? So we'll start with Aaron. 2 minutes for your answer to this question. Aaron?
Okay, so it would be by creating an online video library. FCUSR will collaborate with our teachers. We will be creating video lessons about their subjects, and this will then be uploaded on a specific page. Students can now access this whole wide variety of videos filmed by their teachers, and this can be accessed 24/7. Yes.
Are you done, Aaron, with your answer? Okay, so that's short and concise, but let's proceed with the questions from Mr. Padolia.
Can you specify what online video library is?
Okay, so for example, math lesson, we will request or collaborate with our subject teachers nga para to somehow ask them to film a video lesson, and then it will be uploaded sa isa ka page, and students can now go there sa page and watch those videos so that it can help them somehow understand their lessons, and they can rewatch it like all kapila ka beses, and this can be accessed 24/7 so that flexible gid sa.
Okay. So ginahambal mo nga dapat mahatagid ang teachers ang video.
Bale, this is another way. This is a recommendation.
Okay. Through online class, ano yung mo ma-suggest sa admin? Ay mo recommendation sa school administration ang about sa online class, because ang online video library is, I think, para na siya sa module kung ano yung pag-answer bala, paano sila mag-answer. What about the online classes?
Pwede mo ma-re-specify if ano na meaning mo sa online classes nga suggest ko, the way the teachers teach, or
Yeah.
Pwede mo maliwat ang question.
Ang pagkaintindi ko sa online video library is gabagsak siya sa modules eh. Kaya hindi man ka-ask ang student dito sang live guide sa teachers. Right?
No, this will not be another module. Instead, this will be another learning material.
So, paano mo ma-address ang mga majority of concerns sang online classes because all of us ning may ara sang sang ning difficulty and connection
I get
for
it.
connection.
So bale, there are some students who have some problems with with their internet connections. For example, 9:30 to 10:30 nila nga klase is automatic nagbisyo ang ila wifi. So they can miss or they base hindi sila ka-attend sila lesson. But with the help of online video library, they can just go sa page and pwede nila dito ma-browse ang ilang lessons, and now they can just go there and pwede to nila ma-watch so that maintindihan nila ang ila lessons, whether if ma-miss nila ila klase or hindi. Kay this is the way para ma-address ko wala ang mga problems nila, kay isa sila problems kanina ang internet connections, di ba? And sometimes favorable ang connections ang estudyante if gabi. However, teachers cannot somehow entertain us, right? But with the help of online video library, we can just directly go there and pwede natin manavigate with ourselves.
Thank you, Aaron, for that. Thank you. Sorry to cut you again. Time is up. Now let's proceed, ladies and gentlemen, for the answer of the SRP Governor, Mr. Padolia. G. G, ready na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may start.
As a leader, the thing that I can do for my fellow students are to hear them out, inspire, motivate, and amplify their rights as a student. In these trying times, a lot of adjustment had happened, which transcend our mode of education into blended learning. The recommendations that I will echo to our school administration to address the concerns of students with regards to the learning of online classes and modules are reduction of modules payment, miscellaneous and tuition fees, and the minimizing of schoolworks because it can lead to mental health complication of the student. Since we don't have a face-to-face interaction, we, the students and also the parents, has the right to debrief about it. We all know that in this time of crisis, we should be considerate enough about the financial status and situation of every individual. Thank you.
G, for that. Now let's proceed with the questions of Aaron Aperocho.
Okay. So ang main nga idea is i-lower ang price ang modules, right? And somehow nang hear them out. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. So I think this is my only question. So can you give me a somehow concrete plan kung paano ma-lower ang price ng modules naton?
Ano ron?
If paano ma-lower ang price ng modules natin, if you have any plans for that.
Okay. As a student leader, we don't have any plans of that because it is a work of the administration. And we,
So,
ang gina-question is suggestion malang natin, di ba? Right?
okay, so sige. With my next question, ang hear them out bala nga part, can you somehow give us a somehow though mas clear pagid nga situation kung paano na matabo bala?
Ano ron?
If pwede ka ka-give somehow mas clear nga situation kung paano mo ma-hear ang estudyante.
Okay. Because ning obvious naman ron nga all of us ning nabudlayan sa aton nga tuition fee sa modules payment kag sa aton nga sang work or loads of schoolworks, right?
So I'm asking is kay naghambal ka bala kagina it's somehow related to mental health and gusto nimo to somehow hear out ang concerns Manila, di ba? So ano imo mode nga makaistorya mo sila?
That's why we
it's
have
not about the price kay as you've said gani kagina, hear them out is isa man si mong ano bala. So I wanna somehow know kung paano mo sila, kung ano imo mode of communication with them.
Okay, that's why we have e-suggestion form nga project ron.
Oh, so bale hindi siya sang personal nga counseling. Kaya I thought it was counseling. It's more like the one-on-one yung conversation so that mo somehow
Ang ano ron?
Ang sanamin mo bala nga hear them out. So
Yeah.
at first I thought nga daw counseling ang matabo sine. So is this so hindi nisasang daw counseling nga style?
No, it's just the opening statement of my answer.
Oh, so bale atong ging clarify ko simo kagina is just an opening statement sang nag-ask ko simo if ang lowering some price ang modules and hear them out lang ang imong agenda imo answer dire.
Ano?
Right lang. So I think our two candidates are having some confusions with the question and the speech of Mr. Padolia. Mr. Padolia, I'll give you time to explain again your answer for question number 2. Yes. Can you restate or maybe reiterate your main points for your question number 2? Hello, G.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
So, ang question, sir, what recommendations, diba, sir, that
Yes.
I will do to vote out? Or what recommendations shall I present, right?
Yes.
So, ning i-present ko there ang sir, ang recommendation is the reduction of modules payment, the reduction of modules payment, miscellaneous and tuition fees, and minimizing the school works because it can lead to mental health complications, sir.
Okay. So, Aaron, what's your question
so that's
with
the
those?
point of my answer.
Yeah.
So I think it's straight up na ging clarify na niya. I think we were somehow having some confusions with his answer. Kay kagina I asked him if ang part pagit bala ang kung paano ang hear them out bala, I thought it's a counseling man nga suggestion, but it's actually not. So I think my second question is now void.
Yeah, that's okay, Aaron. So, sorry to cut you guys, but we'll now stick to our time and proceed to our question number 3. So later on during the open forum, you can still ask your follow-up questions if we have time. Are we good? Shall we proceed? Okay, so this next question, question number 3. We have question number 3. Ayan. Now, with the help of your platforms and advocacies, how can you assure that it will bring great impact or significant change in our school and community? So, Aaron, it's now your time to speak.
Thank you. So our platform will surely have a great impact and significance in our school and community, especially during the pandemic. Face-to-face contact is limited, and we have little idea on what's happening or the progress FCUSR had. But with our platform, we are building a sturdy bridge that will better connect the students and the whole school and community. Transparency Project gives the students and even their parents a peek on how FCUSR actually works. A lot of misconceptions are thrown into at FCUSR. But with the help of Transparency Project, they will now be given a chance to see how the system actually works and building a transparent administration that stays true to its community. Our freshman students are new to this environment and transferees too. They probably have some questions, suggestions, or something that they want to ask. However, this is a new environment for them. And some of them are shy to ask their teachers or just don't know what to do. But with the voice box, there will now be a way for everyone in the junior high school ecosystem to easily and freely voice out their concerns, suggestions, or negative feedbacks. Anything that they want to say to improve the administration will now be given a chance to come true. And this link can be accessed 24/7, and dedicated FCUSR officials will then screen this every weekdays. And that's how I can assure you that our platform and advocacies will surely have a great impact in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Now it's your time, G, for your questions.
Ron, can you specify how can you assure that it will bring great impact in our school and community? Kay Dukalaba sa answer mo.
Sige, summarize ko na lang. It is with our two plans, the Transparency Project kag ang Voice Box. So, bale, si Transparency Project is tagaan ang estudyante sang chance bala to take a peek kung ano gin man kalatabo sa SR. And ipakita sila nga, so there naghalin ang kwarta sang SR, muni ang pag-create ng event. So, do ginahatagan, gid bala sila sang idea kung paano gana ang SR kay there are a lot of misconceptions sa SR. I know balaan mo man ang mga misconceptions kung kis ang gina-throw sang public sa aton, pero with the help of Transparency Project, they will now be given a chance to somehow know nga amo ni gali ang gakalatabo nga diri gali sila gakuha sang kwarta dumina bala. And the second one is ang voice box. This will be a link nga pwede man ma-access ang estudyante 24/7. They can voice out anything that they want to be that they want, and then we will if project man sa our movement, we will then help him or her nga to make it possible. And this can also be accessed offline kay we will be providing a phone number so that students can actually go and just chat their text their concerns, so that it will be available anytime, anywhere, offline or online.
Okay. So based mo gin-answer, I think in-explain mo lang yung platform, but my question is, how can you assure that it will bring great impact to the society or the school?
Just what I've said. This will give this will somehow open up a new and better understanding bala nga to give the students nga minigali nga kalatabo, so this is how it's done. And this will also give the students the voice box. This will also give the students the freedom of speech na bala. And this kay mostly subong from the previous administrations, mostly wala pa sang well established bala nga lugar kung diin sila ka voice out sang ila concerns. But with the voice box, there will now be a dedicated nga place kung diin sila ka voice out. And with their opinions, suggestions, this can their suggestions and opinions help to somehow help us establish the whole junior high school and create an impact.
Okay. Thank you, Ron.
Amula na.
Follow-up question, G. I guess we're done with
Not
the
yet.
question. Not yet?
Okay.
Yes. Sige. Thank you, G, because it's already time naman. So
Yes,
this time, it's now your turn to answer this question number 3.
My platforms and advocacies will bring a greater impact and significant change in the school and community because I believe that leadership is influence, and by means of that, I can encourage students to be active individuals, teach them how to think instead of teaching them on what to think, and believe in their own ability to take positive steps for the benefit of the community. The act of leadership is the ability to empower others to achieve a collective set of goals for a progressive future, and a great leader shows the way, follows the way, and lead the way. Thank you.
Thank you for that, G. And so this time, let's proceed with the questions of Mr. Aparocho.
Okay, so all of the words you said, can you give me a specific nga move bala kung paano mo ni ma-achieve ang impact ng ini other than all those words?
Ano, Ron? Choppy ka.
So can you give me a concrete move kung paano mo ni madala or mahatag ang significance or great impact other than all the words you've said?
By doing such things that can be beneficial to the students and also the community.
So can you specify what are those things?
To encourage students to be an active individual, to do a thing in accordance of platforms, and I can't really implement those such platforms if they are not cooperating, right?
So my question is like how bala kung ano ang movement ni mo nga himuon to cross a greater impact other than assurance gani nga words. I somehow want to know kung ano gid imo nga i-offer to bring this impact to the school and the community.
So by encouraging students to be an active individual.
How can you encourage the students to be an active individual?
Okay. To do a thing with a platform, kaya hindi ko man na siya ma-implement ang platform if hindi sila mag-cooperate. So with the help of my platforms, we will achieve the great
So, bale, pwede mo maliwan? Sorry.
ang ano, the bit.
Like, ang bago lang gid, ang bago lang gid.
Okay. To be encouraging students to be an active individual kay to do such things bala nga hindi ko ma-assure nga mag-bring kita sa greater impact kung wala sila ga-cooperate with the help of my platforms.
So, are you sorry. So, okay na?
Okay.
Okay. So are you saying nga ikaw mismo ga-doubt ka mismo sa imo sarili and the SR if they can actually bring a greater impact without the help of the students?
They need to cooperate with us. That's what I'm saying.
So bale there is no any concrete nga movement kung paano mo ni ma-create ang impact?
Okay, thank you so much, G and Aaron, for that. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Time is up for the governor's match. So I hope the 92 other participants who are listening right now have the hunch already or the idea already kung sino ang aton nga mga governors from the SRP and the SPP. So at this point, we'll have the closing speech from the first speaker, Mr. Aperocho, and then right after, Mr. Padoria. Aaron, are you ready for your closing speech? You are given 2 minutes.
So, hello once again, Pilomarians. I am Aaron Aperocho, the aspiring governor of Students' Voice Party. Just like what Warren Banas had said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Serving the studentry and conveying our voice is my utmost goal. I hope that you will give me a chance to prove myself and serve you. Let us all unite and let your voice be heard. Vote Students' Voice.
Thank you, Aaron. And now, G, it's your turn.
Good morning, everyone. As a leader, I believe that leadership is about influence. If you are a leader, you have the power to influence others to serve our school and our community. It isn't about working alone and taking all the credits. It's about working with your members and acknowledging the utmost effort they have exerted. Let actions and perseverance to serve prevail. While one can have a great vision and good ideas for change, and even passion for occur. Without actions, there is no change, yet it is inevitable, but change starts from within. Once again, I am Jean Cesar Padoya, your aspiring governor under the banner of Students Reform Party. No more, no less, but true service.
Great match for the governors. And that's it. That concludes the first debate between our governors of the SVP and the SRP, ladies and gentlemen. So reserve your questions later on during the open forum. And so this time, let's proceed to our second match between the vice governors of the SRP and the SVP. Our first speaker once again will be Ms. Dumo from the SRP, to be followed by Ms. Cervales from the SVP. Ms. Dumo, are you ready? Hello, Ms. Dumo. How about Ms. Cervales? Are you here?
Yes, sir. I'm.
Okay, we're still waiting for Ms. Dumo to respond. Okay, nadulat siya. Okay, while waiting no for Miss Dumol, let's have the open forum na lang muna. Okay, so anyone who would like to ask, you may raise hand and at the same time unmute your microphone. Please introduce yourself, identify yourself, and then you ask your question. So our technical team shall see those students who have questions. So meron ba? Meron ba tayong questions from the audience or from the participants? Okay, medyo silent yung ating mga participants right now. Okay, Miss Dumol, are you here with us na ba?
Yes, sir. Sorry na panabi ang mga wifi na dula. Sorry,
It's okay.
sorry,
We understand that. So are you now ready for question number 1? Let me read question number 1. An observation from the insider of the FCUSR Junior High School reveals that there are student leaders who fail to exhibit a commitment to the organization as time passes by. As a candidate, how do you empower, motivate, or encourage your fellow officers to commit themselves to the organization? Ms. Dumont, you are given 2 minutes for your
Thank
answer.
you for that question, sir. As an incumbent representative of the FCUSR Junior High School, there are big changes and differences I observed inside this organization, and that is a lot of the student leader didn't get the chance to lead or to be a chairman of an event because of the same person only appointed and elected to the organize the event. If ever be elected as vice governor, I am making sure that I will make difference in terms of organizing every event. I will give all leaders the opportunity to organize and to lead some events because para mabalaan nila kung paano mag-handle sa isa ka activities sa organization, and there will be 10 members of committee of the event, which include to planning and technical members and another leaders to be committee for the next event. And during the planning, we will not only listen to the committee, but also we will get some opinions to all officials para during the planning of the event. The students will get some opinions to all officials para during the planning of the event. The students, leaders who will be the committee are all motivated and productive sa ila ginaubra. Because I believe being productive and motivated to the things you are working on, because we will have the best result in the end. Because our responsible leaders make decisions which are sustainable as well as ethical. Find the balance can be difficult, and you will need to consider everyone's opinions in your decision making. Okay, the more opinions and ideas can make event more enjoyable. And I strongly believe that commitment is a leader quality that inspires and attracts people. It shows that leader has convictions and that leader believes in the cause. A team will buy into the team leader before they buy into the vision. Commitment is a hard issue. In these trying times, we should unite as one for the studentry, because I believe that leadership is to make influence, not authority. Thank you.
Thank you for that powerful answer, Ms. Dumol. And now this time, Mr. Valles from the SVP shall ask her questions.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Cristel Dumol. My first question is, what will you do to these students if they refuse to be a chairman during an event?
Again, please.
What will you do, or what specific actions will you implement if these students will refuse to be a chairman during those events?
Nag-grant sila kay may commitment sila para sa inang posisyon. So they have to commit para sa responsible nila as a leader.
How will you ensure nga ma-commit gid sila sa muni? What if they will find another excuses para maka-refuse gid sila nga maging chairman? Paano mo sila ma-ensure?
Actually, hindi. Depende ina sa tao. Kung gusto nila mag-refuse, pwede ya eh. Pero kung ara na sa ila, ara na ila sa gusto nila mo, is their personal choice nga makumit sila sa muna nga posisyon.
But your goal is to promote, di ba, maging chairman sila. So, paano nila ma-experience ang maging chairman kung sila mismo ga-refuse na sila nga maging part or to take the opportunity of being a chairman?
Actually, nga man nag-grant pa sila kung nga man hindi man nila makumit ang ina nga responsibility muna ako answer.
So, how will you convince them?
I will convince them nga deserve na nila nga leadership nga para sa ila. Deserve nila ina nga posisyon and nga that's why naging pili ko sila kay muna deserving sila sa muna nga posisyon. That's why they should do their responsibilities.
In what way of communication or action nga paano mo sila ma-convince? Sa ano nga pamaagi?
Siyempre, advice. Advice is the first communication nga kinanglan sa every leader nga para ma-convince sila nga makakumit sang ila gusto nga posisyon.
Aside from giving advices, what other movements or actions can you suggest in order for them to greatly devote or commit themselves to this organization?
Ang para sa akon, advice na gidya ang pinakataas na para mabuligan sila. Kay dira mo gabus ila self, dira mo sila mapataas sa imo advice kag di ba mahamba mo man sila nga makita mo sila nga ipakita mo sila nga hambalo mo sila nga kaya mo ina nga posisyon kay mo na di ba? Gimutang takada kay balaan ko kaya mo na.
What will you do if they failed to make the event? To provide the students like the best quality event, what will you do to help them? If they fail.
Actually, hindi kita perfect tanan. So, hindi ko na matawag na fail. Kay para sa akon, hindi failure ang isa ka leader. Sorry. Actually, hindi kita perfect muna.
Thank you. That's the end of my questions.
Thank you, Mr. Valles and Ms. Dumol, no? Very engaging questions and answer. Now let's proceed with your answer, Mr. Valles.
I think the first thing that I will do is to talk to these students personally on how they are gifted for an opportunity to lead, to make a change and have the voice to speak for the welfare of the junior high school students. And every time we would have held an event, I would be assigning a task to them, not to serve as a punishment for failure in compliance with their role as a student leader, but as an encouragement and also give them another chance to prove themselves that they are capable of being a good leader and they are willing to accept these challenges in order to make improvements and developments in themselves so that they could become an efficient and a better leader in the future. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Great speech, Mr. Valles. Now, Ms. Dumol, be ready for your questions.
Okay. So, good morning, my dear opponent. You have mentioned in your answer earlier that how will you encourage them to be a good leader?
By giving them a chance, just like what you said, to lead an event.
What if they refuse nila?
I think we can use words to convince or persuade. Let's just always think at the positive outlook in life, or positive side in life, rather.
Ano na mean mo sa positive side nga ipakita sa ila?
We can convince them to persuading them, like talking to them in a way, in such a manner nga hindi sang gina-pressure ta sila, kundi ginatagaan ta sila sang time nga realize nga ano yung pwede nga ma-benefit sini, makuha sini if maranasan niya nga maging like a chairman in an event.
So, paano mo mabalaan niya ang isa ka tawo nga wala mo gina-pressure sa muna nga posisyon nga feeling niya gina-pressure sa pero
I think one obvious answer is gina-accept niya ang challenge nga maging chairman.
Okay. So, what concrete plan imo mahimo para matok sa ila?
I think one-on-one, personal, talking to them personally, one-on-one, muna in a way nga mag-persuade sila, pero in a humble manner, nga hindi sila ma-pressure. It's like what I've
So
said earlier.
paano mo sila ma-communicate kay muniga katabo sa aton, may pandemic, paano mo sila ma-communicate? In personally.
I think through video calling, that we are doing right now. We are using the medium of online to communicate with other people.
But you said earlier na personal.
Yes, but personally, what I meant is not literally, but personally talk to them alone, not personally, literally on face to face, person to person. You get what I mean?
Okay na. I'm satisfied with your answer. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ms. Dumo, you still have time for your question. Do you have other questions?
I'm satisfied with her answer, sir. Thank you.
Okay. No, that's great. Now, let's proceed with question number 2. Question number 2. During this pandemic, one aspect that has limited the FCUSR junior high school officials is the lack of funds or financial pools from the organization or school. If you were to be elected, how do you maximize your resources, and what specific measure shall you include to ensure the sustainability of the FCUSR fund in your term? Ms. Dumol, it's your turn to answer.
Thank you for that answer. Thank you for that question. Sorry. In the past administration, we are easy to gather money from the students from their registration to participate in our event. And we use it to buy the needs in the event and use it as prices to the said event. But this pandemic brought us a challenge on where we could get our funds to have a successful event. If ever be elected as a vice governor, I will appeal a letter addressing to the vice president of finance that the FCSR junior high school officials would like to ask some any amount of donations to the students of junior high school department as a solicitation during the enrollment before the opening classes. And also in this upcoming administration of the FCSR junior high school, we will be having and electing the fundraising committee, which their task is to think of a fundraising event that the FCSR can gather funds. And also for formality and making this kind of action, we will appeal of letter of approval to the high school principal to allow us to conduct some fundraising event. And also we can make collaboration and partnership with other organizations for some fundraising event to help us more gather some funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dumol, for that answer. Now, Mr. Valles, it's your time to ask questions.
Can you give me some examples of your fundraising events?
Again, sorry, soft na tulay.
Can you give me some examples of your fundraising events, like suggestions? Like what exactly?
Like the esports na activities nga like may registration sa every activity nga ubra namon.
Diba, as you've mentioned nga through a way of solicitation, sino ang mga tao nga pwede nyo mas mangayo solicit para makagather ka mo sang fund?
I think sa government officials and other organizations, and ang willing nga mag-solicit para sa amon nga, especially the students nga para sa amon nga event.
In what way ka mo ka-ask for solicitation? But ano yung hambalon? Like, ano yung main purpose? Like, main goal nyo na gusto nyo achieve para ma-direct to dito sa tao nga gusto nyo solicitan? Kag para ma-convince man sila kag ngaman i-help ka man niya para sa inyong solicitation.
Hello, Ms. Dumol? Okay. Did you hear the question?
Sorry again, so
Okay, Sophie,
Sorry, sir,
mo?
wala,
I'm
sir.
sorry.
that's okay.
Ano, soft?
Paano mo, wait, batiin mo na ako.
Yes, yes.
Paano mo maas ang imong gina-solicit nga person? Like, can you state your goal or purpose nga man kailangan kanila solicititan para sa ano nga man mapasolicit ka sila?
Mapasulisit ko sila for our activities and para more activities ang mahatagan prizes and para more ang maka-receive prizes muna. And para more activities like that.
Do you think anila ma-benefits sila if mag-help sila sa iyo mo?
Excuse me, so chapi ka.
Sorry. What do you think are the benefits that they can receive if they'll help you with your funds para sa mga solicitators? Ano mga benefits sila pwede ma-receive para sa mo? Kung buligan kanila.
Hello, Miss Dumol. Are you here? I think we have some technical problems with Miss Dumol's side. Okay, so we'll get back to her later na lang siguro. Mr. Valles, you can now answer question number 2.
Okay lang sir, wala ang Vice Governor. Ma-continue lang ko answer.
Wait. Let's check her first. Okay, Miss Dumol. Hello.
Sorry, gid yan ang gadula. Gid ko iya kay gahinay gid signal.
Okay, should have prepared for
Hello,
this
sir.
match.
Sorry,
Study.
yes, sir.
But anyway, can you hear us now? Can you hear us now?
Yes, sir. Pwede ko paaliwat iya nga question.
Yes. Mr. Valles,
For the solicitators, what do you think are the benefits that they can receive if they help you with to maximize your resources, your funds rather?
Again, please.
For the solicitators, what do you think are the benefits that they can receive if they help you gather with their funds?
They can receive their knowledge. For me, knowledge. Being a facilitator, they add sila more knowledge about as a leader.
That's all my questions, sirs. Thank you.
okay, thank you so much, Mr. Valles. And Miss Dumol, I think for your internet connection, you can stop your video so that you may listen attentively during for the audio while Mr. Valles is delivering her answer. Okay, Mr. Valles, it's now your time to answer question number 2.
To answer question number 2, since we're in the middle of pandemic, I think the best way to maximize our
Okay, sir.
resources. Continue, sir. Okay. Again, I'll answer again. Since we're in the middle of the pandemic, I think the best way to maximize our resources is through asking for sponsorship to people who can support our advocacy through the events as our medium to achieve our main goal, which is to promote mental awareness on how to cope up with the new situation we are in. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Valles. Now, Ms.
Pardon,
Dumol.
Pardon, please.
You want me to repeat my answer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Since we're in the middle of the pandemic, I think the best way to maximize our resources is through asking for sponsorship to people who can support our advocacy through the events as our medium to achieve our main goal, which is to promote mental awareness on how to cope up with the new normal situation we're in.
Ms.
Who are
Dumol?
those sponsorships that you can solicit?
To influential businessmen, since I have also a lot of connections, I think I myself can possibly have the solution for our funds already.
How can you assure nga mahatag sila sa imo?
Ever since I was young, since elementary, because I grew up and I was raised well by my parents that it is part of my life to share and give to children, especially to special children. So that's why so far we have gathered already some sponsorships from the connections that we have.
Okay, Ms.
all.
Dumol?
That's all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess we're now done with the question of Ms. Dumol. Anyway, guys, for our YouTube commenters, no, we just want to remind you to please do not have any personal attack. You may support your candidates as much as possible. We would want you to support your candidates, but we should also respect and at the same time think of the words we comment before we click. Okay, so now let's proceed with question number 3. And so here it goes. Question number 3. How do you inculcate to your members the importance of valuing responsibility, time management, and unity within the organization? First speaker, Ms. Dumol, it's now your turn.
Sir, nagbalhin na lang ko, sir. Sakay, hindi ka kaya. Bali upod ko ni si Manang subong.
Sige.
So, I believe that to build unity and trust with the members inside organization, we should be transparent and honest with everybody, and we should take and listen to all opinions because I believe that the best way to have a better organization is everyone that is open and accountable in such a way that it is easy for others to see what actions we are performing. And I believe that everyone inside the office should value its responsibilities because the first thing that they should remember before they run is when you enter FCUSR. You should know how to manage your time in academics and responsibilities and know your obligations and responsibilities as a student leader. You filled your COC because you are accepting and ready for the commitment in servant leadership. The people trusted you and the people gave their full trust to us as we will be serving them for this academic year. Leadership is not a person as such, but it is vital form of action taken by a person, an action that affects and manifests itself throughout the workplace in order for the organization to work seamlessly. Responsible leadership starts with being responsible to ourselves to lead authentically, upholding ethical and moral standpoints. So if ever I be elected as vice governor, before to start with our term, we should agree and accept to the responsibilities of being a student leader of this university. Because I don't want my leaders or members be unproductive in working some events because I want all be productive, inspired, and motivated in doing such thing for the studentry. With that being said, the leaders that will be elected in every chairmanship will be able to learn how to exactly lead and run an actual event. Not only to follow and listen, this will also mold them into a great leader.
Okay. Are you done, Ms. Dumol?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that. Now, Mr. Valos, it's now your time to ask questions.
So my first question is, what actions will you do in order for these students to be productive leaders?
Pardon, please.
My first question is, what specific actions will you do in order for these students to be productive leaders?
To be a productive leader, for me, we have to set rules. and by encouraging them to do their responsibilities well.
How will you encourage them to do the responsibilities well?
By teaching them and how to be a good leader.
How will you ensure that these students will able to perform their duties and responsibilities as a student leader?
I ensure this kay nagpadalagan sila sa muna nga posisyon. So kinanglan nila mag-commit sa muna nga posisyon and if they have a passion to run as a leader, they should do a thing that can beneficial to all. Sorry. Okay man akong audio, sir?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Valles, you still have time for your questions.
Naka-off mic ka, Goro. So,
Wait lang. How will you, what else? How will you ensure that the reasons for them to run for this election is the same as having a goal to lead? How will you ensure that?
before sila mag-commit sa muni nga posisyon, gin-ask ko sila if ready sila sa mga muni nga mga possibilities nga matabo kag consequence.
Can you please repeat your answer?
Gin-ask ko sila if kaya nila i-commit ina nga posisyon kag kaya nila ang responsibilities and consequences sa muna nga posisyon.
Thank you, Ms. Dumol and Mr. Valles. Quite a good match for the vice governors. No, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were able to witness and at the same time really try to dig deeper these sets of candidates that we have for the governors and the vice governors. And so this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our Miss Cervales, no, for her answer to this question.
Okay, to answer for the last question. I would present myself as a role model that in order to attain success or to achieve a goal, one must be responsible to his or her duties and responsibilities as a student and a leader at the same time. Time is gold. That's why things should be made in advance and shouldn't be behind the deadline in order to ensure the best quality work. One must not also hesitate to share their thoughts to others, where they might contribute to have a solution to the problem we're struggling. And most importantly, one must believe in his or her capabilities, where one also knows how to accept mistakes and constructive criticisms, which are part of the process, and slowly we can overcome our weaknesses, be transformed to become the best version of ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Valles. And now this time, let's have Ms. Dumol for the questions.
Okay. So, Sophie, how will you define a responsible leader?
A responsible, that's all your question?
Yes.
For me, a responsible leader is someone who can handle his duties and responsibilities, his or her duties as responsibilities as a student, and also his duties and responsibilities or commitment to other organizations without any failure in compliance in both fields.
Okay. So my last question for you is, if you ever be elected as the vice governor, ano makuha sa student sa imo?
I think to be an inspiration is what really they can gain from me if I would win this election, because for the past years of being a student in Stillamer, I think I have proved my actions, and the results of my actions have already beared fruit, which I handled a lot of things already, and I've overcome all my weaknesses and struggles. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that your question, Miss Dumol? Are you done? You
Yes,
still have
sir.
time. Okay, anyway, it's now 12:07, ladies and gentlemen, but we're still here, alive, and we're still here, ready on the go to, to hear and listen the sides of our SRP and SPP. And so this time, it's now, at this point, we'll now listen to the closing speech of Ms. Dumol, and at the same time, Ms. Cervales. Ms. Dumol, you'll start. Hello, Ms. Dumol, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Wonderful day, Philamorians. I am Crystal Marie Dumo, the aspiring Vice Governor from Students Reform Party, and we are the Students Reform Party. We are asking you to be with us as we commend to bestow our burning passion and our true service to the junior high school department. We in the Students Reform Party know that we can be one as we fight for your rights and achieve freedom, integrity, and transparency. Less words, more action, and true service. This is Students Reform Party. No more, no less, but true service. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dumol. Ms. Cervales?
Hello, everyone. Hello to all that watching there. This is not only about you or me. This is about us, the whole studentry. I can't promise to be perfect, but I will try to be a better leader, a role model, a schoolmate, a classmate, and most importantly, to be your friend. Be a witness to see the best version of me, to make a change and mark a history. My name is Sophia Margaret B. Cervales, running for Vice Governor under the banner of the Students' Voice Party. I pair my words with examples to lead by purity of heart, to be of service in accordance with God's plan. And I hope and believe that this is part of God's plan to be your next Vice Governor. Today, I am humbly asking for your vote. So please do vote for me and the rest of my party. Vote wisely, vote for SRP, Sophia Margaret B. Cervales for Vice Governor, together with Aaron Aporocho as your Governor. Thank you, God bless, and keep safe, everyone.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We just witnessed the two vice governors from the SRP and the SVP with this debate match. At this point, this is a much awaited part of our program, the Open Forum. Now, the participants, the guests have time, or you're given the time to ask questions to all our candidates from the SVP or the SRP. You may just raise your hand if you would like to ask question, or you may just shut it in our Zoom chat box. Okay, so may ara gusto magpamangkot dira. We'll also see comments from our Facebook, YouTube live. So first we have Mr. Padolia, no? Yes, G, do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please do so.
I am Genesis Padolia. My question is for Aaron.
Yes, what's your question? G, proceed.
Since the Students' Voice Party is an independent political party on the junior high school department, so anong nag-come up si mo mind nga man nag-collab ka sa Spirit Party? Because you have this option naman nga dalo ng Spirit Party in the first place.
Aaron, are you here?
Okay. So, yes, sir. So, I've thought a lot about that. And actually, Spirit reached out to me. However, SVP was already established back then. We already prepared our campaign materials and kumbaga catered and centered na siya for SVP. But you can just say nga, pwede nyo man islan yun yung campaign materials, right? However, that will take us some time again. And also, there is no any certain rules banning us from collaborating with other parties. And also, ano to gani ah? Wait lang, sorry. Na-mental block ako. Wait
It's
lang.
okay.
And also, our goal is in the end is to actually serve the studentry. And that is why I agreed to somehow collaborate with Spirit Party. Kingadaan, our goal is to, with the help of Spirit Party, the message of SVP can be mas spread pagid bala. And that is why nag-collab kami and instead nga nagpa-under sa Spirit Party.
Thank you, Aaron, for that. Now let's proceed with our next question coming from the audience. No, this question is directed to the two vice governors. Okay, so again, to our two vice governors, we have Mr. Valles and Ms. Dumol. So the question is, well, how can you prove that you are worthy to that position? Or let's say, how can you prove that you are worthy to be elected as vice governor? Sige, so we'll have first Ms. Dumol and then Mr. Valles. Ms. Dumol, are you here?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay.
For 8 years of my experience being a FCSR leader, I think I am deserving for this position because damo na ko na learn dahil sa SR, damo na ko na learn sa mga leadership nga mga naatenan ko and mga experiences nga ginatenan ko. And I can apply my experiences here during my
willingness to serve the studentry.
During my elementary days. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, we hear you. Now, Mr. Valles, it's now your time to answer.
I think the answer to that question, why I deserve to be the next vice governor, is that through my experiences as a chairman back then, when I was just a new student here, I was able to prove my fellow classmates that we were able to achieve success in the events that we have entered so far. So I believe I wanted to apply this to the whole junior high school. The success that I am able to form, or the progress that I'm able to build in just a small population of people. That's why I wanted to level up. I wanted to level up this, or share this progress of mine to the whole junior high school students.
Thank you, Mr. Valles, for that wonderful answer, and of course, Ms. Dumol. Now, next question coming from the audience. No, this question is directed, I guess, to our board members. So at least any board members from the SVP or SRP. So the question goes that as a board member, what legislation will you sponsor or present that would make a significant impact to students, especially amidst the current pandemic? Again, as a board member, what legislation will you sponsor or present that would make a significant impact to students, especially amidst the current pandemic? So we have our board members. You can raise hand if you would like to answer this question coming from our audience. Who would like to answer from the board members? So yes, Ms. Sigrid Deliera.
Good morning, sir. I'd like to ask the aspiring representative of SPT, Ms. Barrios.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Ms. Sigrid Deliera. I think our question still was not answered, no, by our board members. So let's hear first our board members to answer this question. So we have board members here from the SRP or SPP. So again, you may raise hand if you'd like to answer this question. Any board member will do. From the SPP or SRP? Wala yet, sang answer. Okay, wala kita sang board member nga diri subong. Nagpanyaga na to sila. Sige na, our time is 12:17 ano. So let's just yes, we have Florence.
Hi, I am Florence Margaret Sumayo from Students Voice Party and running for board member. And knowing that I am from Students Voice Party speaks a lot about what platform I wish to enforce when I get elected as a board member. The first thing is, one thing is the voice box, which is one of the platform of Students Voice Party. You know, during this pandemic, everyone, most students develop anxiety, and I get that students, I get that voices being silenced is frustrating. So the voice box is really needed for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Florence. No. So other board members, you could also answer this question. Sige, kung wala naman, let's just proceed to Miss Sigrid Deliera, no? So Sigrid, you have a question earlier, so I'd like to hear that.
Sir, I would like to ask Ms. Barrios.
Yes, Miss Barrios. What's your question?
Can you give us the duty of being a member of a House of Representatives bylaws, Article 5, Section 5?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Can you slow down? I mean, we didn't get it. So your question is?
The duty of being a member of House of Representatives that is stated from the FCUSR Constitution by Law, Article 5, Section 5.
Okay, Ms. Barrios. Do you have the answer for that?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Okay, or we'll give you time to think, no, of your answer. So we can save time. Yan na lang. Okay, so we'll have another question. Sigrid, is it okay that, okay, Miss Barrios, hello? You have your answer na ba? Wala pa? O, sige, it's okay, guys, if you can answer it. Now, there's a question here, message, no? As the campus transitions into the new era with new leadership, how will you work to be a liaison between the new university president and the student body? So I think this question is directed to the governors from the SRP and the SPP. So first we'll have Mr. Padola and then, of course, Aaron Aperocho. G, the question is, again, let me repeat, as the campus transitions into the new era with new leadership, how will you work to be a liaison between the new university president? Well, actually, our university president, Dr. George O. Cortal, was reappointed or re-elected to be the university president and the student body. Yes, G?
Sir, pardon, sir. Name choppy ka, sir.
Okay, I guess I have to rephrase that. So, paano mo ma-assure na as the governor, if ever you will be elected as the governor, no, you will work to be a liaison between the university president and the student body? Hello, G? G? Did you hear me? Hello? Okay, so let's go back to G later. I don't know. So let's have Aaron Aperocho. Aaron, would you like to answer first?
So I somehow cannot grasp the question well. Can I ask for a somehow
Just chat na lang siguro.
ko sa ano?
Sige,
Kung
I'll
ano
just chat
meaning
the
ng
question.
liaison because I have no idea.
Sige. Wait lang ha. Let me copy this one. Oh yeah, we cannot copy it sa message. Anyway, I'll just read it loud and clear. I hope you grasp it this time, Aaron and G. Okay? Sige. Let me read again the question. As the campus transitions into a new era with new leadership, okay, how will you work to be a liaison between the university president and the student body? Did you get it? Hello, Aaron?
Can I ask what is the meaning of liaison? Because I really
A liaison, like it's a, party,
No,
like parang middleman.
sorry.
Ayan, middleman. Or bridge between university and the student body, or representative, it could be.
Wait na. I'm really sorry, sir. Nagaputol ko bro. Hello, sir.
Hello,
Can you
Aaron?
hear me? I'm really sorry na cut off ako. Nag-bisyo ako ng internet. Unstable. Can you repeat, sir?
Again, when we say liaison, it means, for example, a middleman or a representative working with the student body and the university president.
So it's more like, how can I collaborate with
Yeah.
Sir Cortel? Is that the question?
Yes. Somehow that's the question. As the representative.
Sorry, to the person who asked the question, can I somehow have a bit of talk to her? Kay medyo magulo ang question and though ka-deep sang words, I'm really sorry.
Let me just rephrase the question. No? If you
Yes,
will be elected as the governor, okay, how will you stand? Okay, how will you stand? The rights of junior high school and at the same time push for the activities, knowing that we are in the new normal setup. You are going to present it to Sir Cortel or to the administration. So how will you do that? Okay?
Okay, so I think I already proved my independence and on how can I stand my ground just by staying as an independent party and building the SVP from building SVP up. And I believe that's one of the perks I can offer. And how can I stand my ground to somehow present a project with Sir Cortel? Is that right?
Yes.
So if ever given a chance, or if we will ever have any projects or events that we somehow want to present to Sir Cortel with the help of my leaders, and I know that my leaders are capable enough, if ever given the chance to be your governor, with their help, we will all unite and make a solid proposal and somehow present it to Sir Cortel. So I think that is my answer.
Thank you, Aaron. Now let's have G. G. Padola.
Yes, sir. I would by voicing them out, especially their concerns about the university, since I have the experiences being in a national position and I know the process on how to deal with a university president.
Okay. Thank you for your answers, governors. No. Now let's have another question from the audience. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we can have our working lunch naman already, but we'll end by uh, by 12:45. We'll end by 12:45. So it's important kasi this time for the open forum so we could kilatis, scrutinize, your aspiring candidates. Candidates, if you have your snacks there, you can have your snacks. Yeah, we can do that, guys. Let's not make our stomach empty for this time. Now, this question is directed to G Padolia. G, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Now, your question is, what are your strengths, and how can that benefit for us when you will be elected as a governor or as the governor? So, what are your strengths, and how will it benefit to the student body?
Okay. Based on my experience as a national official, my strength will benefit the student body, and my strengths are my experiences, sir.
Okay. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, G, for that. Next, another question is directed to the governors again. So the question is, if you win, how can you resolve the probable conflict between elected officers coming from different parties? Again, if you win, how can you resolve the probable conflict between elected officers coming from different parties? Let's start with Aaron Aperocho. Aaron, did you hear did you hear the question?
Yes. So thank you for that question. So as per experience already, from the previous administration that I served, I've encountered damo man kami sa different parties, like last year tatlo ko parties, and I've served them well. It's because we somehow had this what you call this, team building, and with somehow initiating some short conversations and trying to talk with my officers and somehow getting them to know each other. I think this will somehow lessen the conflict between us. And first of all, our goal is to serve the studentry. Hindi nga sapaw-sapaw nga isa nga SRP ko ya, SRP ko gyapon nga nagdaog na ko sa SR. It's not like that. If nagdaog ka na, you are already serving the studentry. It's more like you're not exclusive sa imo party nga ginapadalaganan, because you're only representing that party because you believe that is the most suitable platform nga para sa imo. But if ara ka na sa SR, it is the your only goal there is to serve the studentry. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Now let's proceed with G Padola. G.
Yes, sir. I will break the barriers for the both parties, because parties doesn't matter after all the elections. That's all, sir.
Great answers, Aaron and G. Now let's have question from our Zoom participants. First, we have Sir Valles. No, Miss Sir Valles, you raised your hand.
This question is for the governors. My question is, aiming for a higher position will be a challenging role. How will you be able to handle your duties and responsibilities as a student and a leader at the same time?
Yeah. Okay. Let's have first G, then followed by Aaron. G, it's now your time to answer.
Can you repeat the question?
My question is, aiming for a higher position will be a challenging role, right? How will you be able to handle your duties and responsibilities as a student and a leader at the same time?
Okay, G, did you hear us? Did you hear Mr. Valles' question? Hello, G? Sige. So let's have Aaron na lang muna. Sige, Aaron.
Okay, so I believe it would be by managing my time and also help with my fellow leaders, because I'm not the only officers as FCUSR. I got my vice governor, I got my board members, my representative. That is the way I think that I could manage my studies as well as my leadership. It is by sharing all the tasks that we need to do and equally giving it to each one of us, so that hindi sang tamaan ka bugat ulubrahon sang grade 10, sang grade 9, though equal balatanan. So yeah, that is my answer.
Thank you, Aaron. G, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the question?
Yes, sir.
Sige. Your answer is?
As a student leader, I can prove that, and I've proved that I manage my time, both leadership and co-curricular activities, because time management is a must, especially we are the student leader of our university.
Okay, thank you so much, G and Aaron. No? Now let's have question from Mr. Bedisir Scripster Hines. Yes, Hines. Would like pronounce ang Hines ng pangalan. Yes?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Good noon, everyone. I'm Christopher Hines Tibedi, sir, from Petit 9. And my question is directed to Mr. G. Padolia.
Proceed.
They say honesty and integrity are essential qualities of a good leader. Do you think you are one of those who possess these qualities? And why or how do you say so?
G? Yes, G? Did you hear the question of Mr. Bedisir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your answer is?
I can prove to the student tree that I am honest and what? Ano to, sir? Ang isa?
Integrity.
I can prove to the students that I am a honest leader, because I am an incumbent senator and I proved them. Na, sir.
Okay. Is that it, Mr. Padola?
Sir, choppy ka, sir.
Okay, hello. Can you hear us? Do you have further answer to that question? Sige. G, I'll just have some follow-up question. Can you hear us? Oh, G? I think we had tested naman kagina our technicals, no? So, hello, G. Sige. Let's get back to you later na lang. Yes, Miss Barrios, you have question? Or
Yes,
you will answer the question earlier?
There's a question.
Yeah,
This
your
question
answer.
is directed to the Vice Governor of the Students' Voice Party.
Okay,
Ms. Dumont.
proceed.
What si mo ginhambal kag ina? Paano mo mahambal nga deserving kag ma-take responsibility na sila? Kay mostly imo upod nga mga candidates mayara sang violations kag inactive. Kag nasarba lang ina sila from impeachment sa nagpalalasa sila letter sa SR.
Miss Dumol, are you here? Hello, Miss Dumol.
Sir, pardon, hambal niya, sir, SVP.
SRP.
SRP.
SRP, tama. SRP gali.
Dumol
Sorry.
is SRP. Okay lang.
Again, question again, Charis.
About si mo ginhambal kag ina, paano mo mahambal nga deserving kag ma-take responsibility ina sila? Kay mostly imo upod nga mga candidates mayara sang violation sa SR kag inactive. Nasarba lang ina sila from impeachment sa nagpalalasa sila sang letter sa SR. How did I know that? I am the current Vice Chairman of the Judicial Department and I am in charge of resolving those issues regarding with impeachment.
Okay, Miss Dumol.
Okay, thank you. Actually, your question is personal, but I think I can...
How is it personal? I'm saying facts.
Kinahambal mo ang mga ilang nga mga inactive, ilang nga mga ang gina-attack mo sila, do mo na.
No, I would like to point out kasi syempre ma-vote ang mga students. Diba? Hay,
Yes.
ano ato ang votes ng mga students? pumabot sila sa mga candidates nga may area sang violation kag inactive. Ay paano ato like ganito lang nilang students kay gahambal man sila nga ako.
Miss Barrios, I think we have to rephrase the question. Instead of saying that these candidates are not worthy of having, well, I would agree that it's kind of personal. What do you want to ask specifically?
If paano niya ma-assure nga deserving na sila ma-take responsibility.
Sige. So that will be your question. Yeah, Ms. Dumont. The question would be this way. How will you assure, or for example, if you will be elected as vice governor, how will you assure that the set of leaders that you will be having will be equipped with the potentials maybe to lead the junior high school council?
For me, sir, i-build up sila to become a better leader.
How?
Okay. In what ways? Specifically, in what ways?
Advising them, sir.
Okay. Advice. Ms. Barrios, do you have a follow-up question? Okay, if none, let's proceed with the next question. I hope you are partly satisfied, if not satisfied. No? At least it was answered by Ms. Dumol that yes, to give advice to the rest of the candidates, or if ever they win. Next question, we will read questions from the YouTube, no? From the online. Do they have questions there? Oh yeah, they have here. There's no question. Yeah. So from the audience, we have question. So there's a question here. Okay, directed no to the governors again. Mabenta talaga ang ating mga governors ngayon. Now, the question is, hello G and Aaron. G, are you here na ba? Hello G. How about G? G, can you hear us? Okay, nadula na si G sa ato, no? So, G. Shall we proceed? Yes, okay. Let's proceed with the question na lang, no? The IATF, ECLAC, has red tagged Philomar Christian University as one of the institutions that are allegedly conducting recruitment of terrorist groups. We all heard the news about it. Now, if elected as governor, how will you address this matter, and what is your response to the accusation? Or not directed, let's say not the response, specifically response, since we can't, do that, but how will you address the matter? Yes, Aaron.
Okay, so first off,
Aaron, then G. Yes, Aaron?
Okay, so first, I apologize with the background noise, but so here's my answer. So with actually it is it's kind of a big deal kay medyo na apektuhan ng image natin school. But we can address this by somehow collaborating with our president and somehow walang wait, I'm really sorry. I've got another mental block. Wait.
It's fine.
It is by somehow asking the other FCUSR officials and from the other departments to somehow collaborate to release a somehow a statement or either a movement that could somehow clean this tarnished reputation of Philomar Christian University, because I myself is a living proof that FCUSR is not FCUSR. I mean Philomar Christian University is not a training ground or whatsoever. I've been here since elementary and I didn't witness any of that. And that's why if ever nga matagaan man tsansa and tagaan naman yung solusyon, I believe it is by somehow asking for some help from the other FCUSR and formulating a certain movement or a project that we can then present sa ibabaw to somehow help them to clean the reputation of our school.
Thank you, Aaron. How about G? Your answer is?
Sir, we would like to communicate with our dear president in this issue, because since we are a Christian school nga i-clarify nga maobra sang statement nga i-clarify nga hindi that falls ato nga issue, and hindi mamapatihan, sir, because we are first, we are a Christian school, and isa kita sa pinaka dako nga eskwelahan sa Universidad sang Capiz.
Yeah.
And ang suggestion lang is think before they speak or they post it. That's true.
And we stand. So we stand what the university, the university stands, man, pertaining to the issue about it. Now, let's proceed with the question sa YouTube. No, do we have a question there? Yeah. So for the, so let me just okay. So questions sa YouTube, no? To the aspiring secretary of SVP, David. Are you here, David?
Yes, sir.
Okay, David, here's your question. If ever you will be elected as secretary, how can you assure that you could organize files of the FCUSR if this is your first time running to a higher local office?
I believe, sir, I have the capabilities of running as a secretary because, firstly, I have been a chairman in my section, vice chairman. A lot of things I have done in my school, in my classroom, that I can possess and I can do to my fellow students. Lastly, sir, I believe that God gave me the opportunity to run for secretary this school year, and I would want to grasp it and honor. And I wanted God to be the center of it. So I believe, sir, I have the capabilities because I have done it. I have been there. I've done that. I have the capabilities.
Thank you, David, for that. So I guess we shall have the answer of Miss Barrios earlier. No, we forgot her answer. Miss Barrios, would you like to answer that question?
Yes.
The question was about the duty of the representative as stipulated in
duty.
FCUSR Constitution.
Mm-mm.
So what's your answer by that?
Representative is more of a bridge of national officials and the locals. We are in charge to relay informations and meetings na gihatag sa mga national officials.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Sige. Thank you for that, Ms. Barrios. At this point in time, I think we will have only the last question since wala namang questions sa audience. Yes, Mr. Valles, do you have question ba?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Well, recognize Mr. Valles. Then we have the last question sa Zoom chat. Yes, Mr. Valles.
My last question, sir, is for the governor of the SRP, sir.
Okay. Proceed.
My question is, do you think an officer still deserves to run for a higher position if he or she has already failed to comply with his requirements as a student?
Okay. That question is for G, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, G, would you like to answer?
Yes, sir. I think ning qualify man Japan mag-run ang isa ka student na to run in a higher position because it is stated in the constitutional article 8 section 5 that um the lower the lower grades of 2 point, the general average of the vice governor and governor, the passing grade is 2.5, and there are no
Okay.
failing subjects, sir.
Okay. Satisfied, Mr. Valos? Or you have follow-up question?
Follow-up question, sir.
Okay, proceed.
So you're running for governor, right? So you're saying that you have proved that you have excel and quiet. Sorry. um, you prove. So you're aiming for for the position of governor. So do you prove through your actions that you have complied with your requirements as a student?
Pardon, Soph.
So you're aiming for a higher position, which is governor. So can you prove to your action that you have complied well to the requirements as a student?
I think I complied all the requirements man as a student.
Okay, is that it, Mr. Valas?
How do you say so?
Kaya ginpasa ko na akong requirements as a student.
Okay. So I think that's it. Yeah, he has proven that he is excellent because he already passed the requirements. Now let's proceed with some question. No, last question here sa Zoom chat, directed to the counselors. How can you assure the students that you will be active in the FCUSR? How can you contribute and show your support to the student republic as counselors? Again, we have counselors here, aspiring counselors. Now, any counselor, anyone who would like to answer, you may raise hand. So again, the question is, how can you assure the students that you will be active in the SR? Then how can you contribute and show your support to the student republic? Yes, do we have counselors here? Okay, there are comments here in our YouTube, no, requesting our candidates to open their cameras. But as much as we want them to open their cameras, we are facing some technical problems like connection or internet connection, poor signal. So please understand. However, for those candidates as mentioned earlier, no, I told you that if those who have a strong internet connection, as much as possible, please open your cameras or your videos so that your other classmates and friends would see how you respond to certain questions. Now, anyway, to our counselors, so I can't hear them here, no. So, but let me just see if we have counselors here. So who would like to answer that question for our counselors? Okay, daw na kulbaan gid sila ma'am no, wala gid sila nakasabat. Or nagutom na ni siguro sila. But anyway, yeah, this is it, guys. If you have follow-up questions pa, you can have it now. But if wala naman, we'll end here our debate and open forum. So I hope you enjoyed watching, hearing the sentiments of our dear candidates who really stood their ground and proved to you that they are deserving to be elected as the governor, as the vice governor, and at the same time secretary, representative, and the rest of those who will be electing or will be elected in this June 2 local and national elections. So do you have other questions so far? Wala naman. So, yon, let's clap our hands. Virtual clap. Lakpakan nato, no? Ang aton yung mga kandidato, kandidata. For a job well done. Congrats, guys. Yes. Isang tulog na lang at election na. Sige. And so we would like to acknowledge on behalf of the FCUSR Junior High School, no, we would like to acknowledge our technical team, Alicia Bueno, our governor, no, Yoka Alexa Denise Laurino, our advisor, Ma'am Jetal Ruto, and Andre Bersabal, and the rest of the team who, in one way or the other, have shared their endless support, talent, and skills to make this online and debate forum a success. I know we experienced a lot of mishaps from the Facebook Live and from the YouTube, but yes, for the next year, we challenge the next set of officers to exceed the expectations of our students for your term. So this time, we have Alicia Bueno. Okay, our host.
Yes, sir. So that's a wrap, everyone, for the first ever virtual grand rally for the junior high school local elections. Now, we would like to thank the following people who extended their help and support to make this event possible and successful. To Mrs. Sheila C. Suresca, our high school principal, Ms. Orla S. Stella, our junior high school assistant principal, SOCOM led by SOC Chair Ms. Lira Shin Azarce, Mr. John B. Iturralde, our debate and open forum moderator, Ms. Marilyn Bueno, and to our FCUSR Junior High School teachers, students, participants, and viewers. Now, to end this event, I would like to ask Ms. Gentle Joy Ruto for the closing message and further announcement. And we would close with a prayer by Mr. Schreister Heinz Bedisir. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Press?
Okay, sige. So, nag-change place kami, nag-shift kami ni Sir Jan. And I will make it short, kay nagutom na kita tanan. And good afternoon, because it is already 1 p.m. And we will have our National Grand Rally virtual sa SOCOMAN nga page, Student Committee, Facebook page. So you can watch there also. And liputon ko lang, I would like to thank everyone for supporting and participating in our event. And you already witnessed the advocacies, the platforms, the stands of each candidate here in our Zoom and YouTube live. And may this one will help you to choose and to vote wisely kung sino-ugid man ang mga leaders nga dapat ninyo botohon, and dapat we need to be more critical and we need to go to more relevant platforms that are visible and can help our Philamerian community to be better and improve again. So for our future leaders, I hope and pray that whatever the result of this election, may you keep that burning passion in your heart to serve the Philamerian community with or without position. And may I remind everyone that our election will be on June 2 in the morning until 12 noon lang, and the link will be provided sa inyo mga advisor. And may you participate in this election because your vote matters, and your voice, your vote. And thank you.
Ayan. Hello, Alicia. Still here? So we'll have our closing prayer, right?
Ma-pray na, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So for the closing prayer, let me just let's have Crystal Hines Pediser for the closing prayer.
Let us pray. God of wisdom and love, we thank you for the opportunity to know our aspirants for the different local positions in our department through their platforms and advocacies. After seeing and hearing them, may we could decide wisely as to who is worthy enough to serve the high school populace of Philamer. We pray that those who will be elected will be true to their promises, and those who won't win will accept defeat with courage and spirit of sportsmanship. We pray for the student organization committee who will administer the elections and those who in one way or another would help ensure an honest, orderly, and peaceful election. May your will be done, O Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Heinz, for that. So, yun guys, dito nagtatapos ang ating online debate and open forum. So, before we end, we would like to ask you guys if you could open your camera or your video so we can have a screen captured image or photo for our documentations. Sige, ready? Sino makuha? Sino? Kukuha. Ako ba? Alicia, I think Alicia, you can take the picture.
Yes. From here.
Okay, Alicia, can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Lena girl, kay social distancing. Sige. Ready na ba?
Ready na.
Okay. Smiles ka mo, guys. Smiles, gijak do. Lalo, yeah, smile. Enjoy lang. Yun.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Okay na.
Okay na.
Good na mag-smile. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for bearing with us and for staying here in our Zoom. I know nagutom na kamo. But on June 2, don't forget to choose wisely because your next set of leaders, guys, will determine the next cycle of the FCUSR. It could be from the SVP or from the SRP. So once again, this has been your host for this afternoon, Sir John B. Itorabi Jr., and God bless you all. Bye-bye!
Good luck, Sinyo!
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, wala.